Tonight is only for you. Nothing to fix, nothing to prove, nothing to remember. Just the simple act of lying here and allowing your mind to drift. So before we begin, take a slow, gentle breath in. Hold it softly and let it go. Again, breathe in through your nose. Feel your chest rise. Feel your belly expand. And exhale as if you're sighing out the weight of the day. If thoughts want your attention, that's okay. You don't have to push them away. Just let them pass by like distant clouds on a slow evening sky. Right now, your only job is to listen and to follow my voice into the quiet. Somewhere behind your closed eyes, there is a place you've visited before, and yet it always feels new. A doorway, a portal, standing alone in the middle of a soft, glowing mist. This is the dream portal, the entrance to the world where your mind finally lets go. And tonight, we're going beyond it. Imagine yourself standing in a gentle fog. The air is warm, not heavy, just comforting, like a blanket that has been resting in the sun. All around you, the mist glows with muted colors, deep purples, soft oranges, whispers of rose and gold folding into one another. In front of you, the portal rises, tall, graceful, an arch of stone and light. Its edges are dark, smooth and quiet, but from within, a warm glow spills out, as if someone placed a tiny sunrise inside the doorway. You can't see exactly what lies beyond, only light, and the calm feeling that whatever is waiting for you there is safe. You take a slow breath in, feeling your shoulders drop as you exhale. As you step closer, you notice how the mist gathers around your feet, curling gently like soft waves. Each step you take toward the portal makes everything behind you feel a little more distant. The room you're really in, the thoughts of today, the loops of yesterday, all of them fade to the edges of your awareness until there is only the sound of your breath, the warmth of the light, and the quiet cool of the doorway. You stand right before it now. The glow rests against your skin, not bright, just enough to remind you that you are welcomed here. This is the threshold between waking and dreaming, between the noise of the day and the soft, slow world of sleep. When you're ready, you step through. As you pass the frame, you feel no weight, no shift, only a gentle easing through your whole body, as if your muscles remembered something they had been trying to do all day. Relax. On the other side, you find yourself in a long, quiet corridor. The floor beneath you is smooth, cool, and steady. On either side, there are tall walls made of something between stone and cloud, soft shapes outlined by the faintest light. Along the floor, a narrow line of warm gold stretches out into the distance, guiding you forward. Overhead, hidden lamps glow like small moons, casting a dim, soothing light. The air here is still. No wind, no rush. Only the soft echo of your own footsteps, slowed almost to nothing. You walk. Each step is unhurried. Left foot, right foot. And with every step, your mind loosens its grip on the day. You remember something that bothered you, but as soon as it appears, the corridor absorbs it like mist. It simply dissolves. There is no need to hold on. Here, in the infinite corridor, every thought that no longer serves you slowly fades into the haze. You notice how your breathing has fallen into a natural rhythm. In, soft and easy. Out, long and smooth. Like the corridor itself, your breath continues without effort, without hurry. Far ahead, you see the path begin to curve. A gentle arc to the right, disappearing into a deeper layer of mist. You follow. As you round the curve, the walls on your left and right become less solid, more transparent. You begin to see shapes behind them. Not sharp pictures, just blurred scenes, echoes of moments from your life. A crowded room, someone laughing, a sky from a day long ago. They move slowly like reflections on water. But here, behind the walls, they have no weight. You don't need to enter them. You don't need to replay them. You simply walk past, letting them exist without pulling you in. This is the corridor's gift. It lets your memories be present without asking you to carry them. You keep moving, step after step after step. At some point, you realize you have no idea how long you've been walking. Time doesn't seem to matter here. You are just moving forward through soft light, warm air, and quiet. Up ahead, the mist begins to thin. You notice a subtle shimmer growing brighter, as if the corridor is opening toward a new world. You follow the light, and as you draw near, the walls dissolve completely, falling away into stars. You take one last step, and the corridor is gone. You are standing now on a smooth stone path, suspended in the middle of a vast open space. There is no ceiling, no walls. Above you, a sky of deep indigo stretches out endlessly, scattered with slow, shimmering stars. All around, small islands of earth float in the air, each holding a quiet garden, soft grass, low trees with hanging branches, flowers that glow faintly from within, like they've been lit by the memories of sunlight. The air carries a faint scent of something sweet and green, like rain after a warm day. The stone path beneath your feet leads from island to island, each one connected by gentle arches and small bridges that curve through the air like ribbons. You start walking. As you step onto the first garden island, the grass greets your feet with a soft, springy welcome. You can hear the quietest sound of leaves moving, though there is almost no wind. On a nearby branch, small lights flicker in and out. At first, you think they're fireflies, but when you look closer, you realize they're tiny orbs of gentle gold floating in place, never leaving the tree. They pulse in a slow rhythm, like breathing. Inhale, they brighten. Exhale, they dim. Without even trying, your body starts to match their pace. In, out. Each breath makes you feel a little lighter, as if the garden itself is breathing with you. You continue along the path. On the next island, you find a small pool of water. Its surface is still and glass-like, reflecting the stars above. When you look down, you see yourself, but softer. Not the version that worries, not the version that questions. Just you in this moment, surrounded by quiet. The water doesn't ask you to change. It simply shows you resting. You kneel beside it for a moment, letting your fingertips hover just above the surface. You don't even need to touch it. The calm is already moving through you. As you rise, you notice a gentle archway of flowers at the far end of the island, glowing faintly with warm light. Beyond it, another path curves away into the distance. You follow. Every island you visit adds something small to your peace. A breeze that feels like someone smoothing your hair from your forehead. A flower that opens slowly as you pass, revealing layers of color you've never seen before. A low stone bench where you sit for a few moments, feeling how the surface keeps just enough warmth to be comforting. Each pause takes you deeper into relaxation, deeper into the quiet. By the time you reach the final island, your thoughts have become so light that they barely form words. They're more like soft impressions, shapes, colors, feelings. You cross one last bridge, and on the other side you see it, another doorway. This one is made of living branches, woven into an arch and lit from within by soft, floating lights. You recognize the familiar glow. It's the same energy as the first portal, but gentler now, as if you've already shed a few layers of weight along the way. You know that when you step through this door, you'll enter another layer of rest. You take a slow breath and walk forward. 4. Plane 3. The library between thoughts. On the other side of the arch, the air cools slightly. You find yourself standing in a vast library, but not the kind you've seen before. Here, the shelves float in the air, anchored to nothing, rising and falling slowly like quiet breaths. Each shelf is lined with books of different sizes and shapes. Some glow faintly. Some are wrapped in soft, silvery threads. Others look almost transparent, as if they're made only of memory. The floor beneath you is soft and dark, like walking on a cloud that has chosen to take the shape of a room. There is no noise, no rustling of pages, only a gentle hum, like the distant sound of rain on a rooftop. You realize what this place is. This is the library between thoughts. Every book contains a story, a moment, a feeling you've held at some point in your life. But unlike in your mind, where these thoughts rush and collide, here they are still, organized, resting, waiting until they're truly needed. You walk between the floating shelves, and as you pass, some of the books softly turn their spines towards you, as if acknowledging your presence. You don't need to open them. The library is not asking you to revisit anything tonight. It is simply showing you that all of your thoughts, all of your memories, have a place to rest. They don't have to swirl in your mind when you are trying to sleep. They can stay here, on their shelves, keeping each other company while you drift. As you move deeper into the library, you notice a large circular opening in the floor. When you look down, you see not a drop, but another layer of soft light. A slow, gentle spiral of steps leads downward, carved from the same cloud-like material as the floor. You begin to descend. Step by step, the hum of the library fades into a soft vibration you barely notice. With each step down, your body feels heavier in the most comforting way, like sinking deeper into a perfect mattress, or being wrapped in a blanket just the right weight. At the bottom of the spiral, you find a small, quiet room. In its center is a single book, resting on a pedestal made of light. The book is closed, but it glows warmly, as if it remembers something kind about you. You don't need to open it. You simply place your hand on its cover, and as you do, you feel a deep sense of permission. Permission to stop processing, to stop planning, to stop replaying. Tonight, you are allowed to let go. You take a slow breath, and with your exhale, you imagine every unfinished thought, every worried question, every sentence that begins with "what if?" leaving your mind and flowing gently into this book. The cover warms softly, accepting them all without judgment. When you lift your hand, the book's glow settles into a gentle, steady light. Your thoughts are safe here. They will be waiting if you ever need them again. But for now, they are off your mind. A soft doorway of light appears on the far wall of the room, just wide enough for you to walk through. Without hurry, you move toward it. You are lighter now, quieter inside, ready for the next plane. Stepping through the doorway, you feel a mild, pleasant breeze touch your skin. You are standing on a beach. But this is not like any shore you've known before. The sand beneath your feet is cool and fine, glimmering faintly with hints of soft gold and silver. The ocean before you is calm, its surface smooth and dark, reflecting the sky above like a mirror. The sky itself is deep, velvety midnight, scattered with endless stars. Some shine bright, others are faint, but together they form a gentle, soothing pattern that feels like a lullaby for your eyes. The waves move slowly, rolling in with a soft, steady rhythm. Each one reaches the shore with a idem quiet hush, then slides back, leaving delicate trails that fade into the sand. You start walking along the water's edge. With every step, you feel the sand give just enough to support you, never pulling, never resisting. When the waves reach your feet, the water is cool but not cold. It feels like clarity, like all the noise in your mind washing gently away. You listen to the rhythm. Wave in, wave out, wave in, wave out. It matches your breathing so naturally that you don't even try. Inhale as a wave gathers. Exhale as it slides away. You walk for what feels like a long, peaceful time. The stars slowly shift overhead, not in sudden movements, but in a graceful, gliding dance. At some point, you notice a soft, distant glow far down the shoreline. Curious, you move toward it. As you get closer, you see that the light is coming from a small alcove in the cliffs beside the beach. Inside the alcove, the rock walls curve gently inward, creating a sheltered space. The glow comes from smooth crystals embedded in the stone, each one pulsing lightly in shades of warm amber and soft rose. In the center of the alcove, there is a wide, flat stone bed, covered with thick, soft blankets that look as if they're made from woven starlight. This, you realize, is a resting place, a secret corner of the shore created just for you. You lie down. The surface beneath you gives like memory foam, shaping itself to your body, supporting every curve, every limb, without effort. You feel your head sink into a pillow that's neither too high nor too low. Just right. From here, you can still hear the waves outside the alcove. In, out, in, out. Soft, steady, reassuring. The crystals above you glow gently, like distant lanterns in a calm village at night. You let your arms rest heavy at your sides. You let your jaw loosen. Your eyes are already closed, but now the muscles around them relax too. The starlit shore holds you without demand. There is nothing you have to do here. No story you need to hold up. No role you need to play. Just breathing, just resting, just floating on the edge of sleep. After a while, a familiar feeling returns, a sense that somewhere nearby, another doorway is waiting. You know now what this means. Each portal leads you deeper, gentler, quieter. You don't even need to stand up. As you lie there, the air at the front of the alcove begins to shimmer, and slowly, beautifully, a tall arch of light appears. This one is softer than all the rest. Its glow is pale gold with hints of dawn pink, like the very first light that touches the sky before sunrise. You realize this must be the final plane for tonight. The place where you don't just rest. You sleep deeply, fully, peacefully. You take a last look at the stars outside, listening to the waves. And then, with all the ease in the world, you let yourself drift forward through the final portal. On the other side, you find yourself in a wide, open chamber. The ceiling above is high and gentle, curving like the inside of a protective shell. The walls are made of soft light, shifting slowly through shades of warm cream, rose gold, and pale lavender. The floor is covered in the softest surface you've ever felt. Not carpet, not grass, something in between, like walking on a cloud that decided to be a bed. In the center of the room is a resting space, wider than any bed, yet shaped just for you. The sheets look like quiet moonlight, the blankets like woven dusk. You lie down and feel immediately how this place understands your weight. It knows exactly how to support you. Your legs grow heavy, your arms grow warm and relaxed. Your breathing naturally slows. In, out, in, out. Around the edges of the chamber, tiny orbs of light float lazily in the air, drifting like slow fireflies. Each one carries a single feeling: peace, safety, ease, soft joy. They circle you at a distance like guardians keeping watch. In this chamber, there is no need to stay alert. Everything that needed your attention today has been set aside. The corridor of mist has taken your old thoughts. The floating garden has softened your body. The library has stored your worries on its shelves. The starlit shore has washed your mind clean. All that is left now is you, here, held. Tonight, sleep doesn't have to be chased. You don't have to try to fall asleep. You are already in the place where sleep naturally comes. If your mind still wants to wander, that's okay. Let it wander inside this chamber, where every direction leads back to rest. If a thought appears, you can imagine placing it gently on one of those floating lights around you. Watch it drift a little farther away, getting softer, smaller, until it becomes nothing more than a quiet glow in the distance. You don't have to hold it. You don't have to solve it. Not now, not here. Here, there is only one truth. You are safe. You are allowed to rest. And your body knows exactly how to do that. Feel the weight of your body sinking deeper into the surface beneath you. Notice how your hands have become still, how your feet have stopped fidgeting, how your forehead has smoothed out like calm water after the wind has passed. Every part of you understands that this is the time for quiet. If sleep hasn't reached you yet, there is no rush. You can stay here, listening to the soft silence, letting your breath move in and out at its own pace. The dream portal will be here whenever you need it. The corridor, the garden, the library, the shore, all of them are now part of your inner world. You can return to any of them on any night, simply by remembering how they felt. The warmth of the mist, the glow of the flowers, the hum of the shelves, the rhythm of the waves. But for now, you don't need to go anywhere. You have arrived at the deepest point of tonight's journey, beyond the dream portal, beyond the noise, into the quiet. Stay here, rest here, drift here. If your eyes haven't closed yet, let them grow heavy. If they're already closed, let them soften even more. Let the last bits of tension dissolve from your throat, your shoulders, your chest. There is nothing you have to hold up. You can let go, completely. And as you lie there, in this chamber of rest, the lights around you dim slightly, like a room where someone has turned down the brightness just enough for sleep. Your breath becomes quiet, barely noticeable, easy. Soon, if it hasn't happened already, you will slip past the edge of awareness into deep, restorative sleep. And all you need to do to allow that is nothing. Just be here, held, safe, deep within the quiet. And if some small part of you is still awake, That's okay. You don't have to force the last pieces of awareness to disappear. Sometimes, the mind likes to linger at the edge of sleep, just watching the space, watching the quiet, watching the feeling of finally not needing to do anything. So for a little while longer, you can simply rest here, between the world of thoughts and the world of dreams. The chamber around you remains soft and warm. The gentle lights float slowly in the air, circling at a respectful distance, like stars that have chosen to come inside just to keep you company. With every small motion of your chest as you breathe, they drift a tiny bit farther out, and then ease a tiny bit closer in, matching you without trying. If you listen closely, you might notice that there is a rhythm beneath everything. Not a song, not a melody, just a quiet pattern. Your breath, your heartbeat, the stillness between the two. In, out, in, out. The chamber hears that rhythm and begins to sway with you. The soft floor beneath your body becomes even more yielding, supporting you the way calm water supports a leaf. You are not falling, you are floating, held in the center of your own quiet. If another thought appears, you can notice it the way you'd notice a small boat on the horizon of an ocean. It's there, but it's far away, and the ocean is calm. You don't have to swim to it. You don't have to chase it. You can let it stay on that distant line where sea and sky meet, until it slowly fades from view. The ocean remains, the sky remains, your rest remains. Slowly now, the chamber begins to change. Not with noise, not with movement, just with feeling. The light on the walls grows deeper, shifting from soft cream to gentle amber, to a color like dusk. That moment in the evening when the world has not yet fallen fully into night, but the day has clearly ended. You feel that ending inside you. The ending of needing to hold yourself up. The ending of needing to think ahead. The ending of needing to replay what has already been. All of that belongs to another time, not to this one. Here, there is only this. A body slowly releasing its tension. A mind slowly releasing its grip. A heart remembering how it feels to be unburdened. You don't have to rush this release. It will happen like a tide that goes out on its own. Steady, unstoppable, gentle. As you lie there, something subtle happens. You realize that the chamber itself is beginning to open. Not with doors, not with windows, but with space. The walls that once felt like a comforting shell start to soften, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, they become transparent. Beyond them, you see faint outlines of the places you have visited tonight. The corridor of mist, the floating garden, the library of thoughts, the starlit shore. All of them still exist, but now they are quieter, further, like memories of dreams you've already begun to forget. You watch them from your resting place the way you would watch clouds from a warm bed near an open window. You don't need to go back. You don't need to walk or move or travel. You can simply accept that these places have done their part. They have carried you from the noise of the day to the edge of deep sleep. Now they bow and fade, leaving you in a space that is both nothing and everything. A space of pure stillness, pure softness, pure quiet. Here, there is no corridor, no garden, no library, no shore. There is only you and the gentle rhythm of your breath. Imagine now that you are drifting on a slow current, not on water, but on something even softer. It feels like drifting on time itself, as if every second has stretched out into a long, comforting ribbon that carries you forward. You don't need to steer. You don't need to decide where to go. The current knows exactly where you're meant to be. It moves you through layers of quiet, each layer a little deeper, each layer a little more still. In the first layer, you can still hear a faint echo of the day. Voices, moments, images. They are like distant echoes down a long hallway. You hear them, but they don't reach you. The current moves on. In the next layer, the echoes grow softer. You no longer hear words, just tones, warm, cool, rising, falling, like someone speaking in a language you don't need to understand. You let the sounds pass through you without catching, without sticking. The current moves on. In the next layer, even the tones fade. There is only the low, steady hum of existence, like the sound of the universe breathing. In, out. You drift inside that hum like a small, sleeping star. No noise, no story, no questions. Only being, only resting, only existing in the most simple, most peaceful way. Every so often, a part of your mind might rise up just enough to notice, I am still here. And that's okay. Even in deep rest, some tiny piece of awareness likes to float, like a leaf on a lake in the middle of the night. It doesn't disturb the water. It doesn't disturb the sky. It just rests there, quietly, until even it begins to sink. If you notice that part of you, you don't have to argue with it. You don't have to say, why am I still awake? Instead, you can imagine gently placing a hand over its eyes, the way you might cover the eyes of a child who is finally ready to sleep. Shh, you tell it, without words. It's okay. You're allowed to let go now. And slowly, that little watcher inside you grows heavy too and closes its eyes. Time in this place is not like time in the waking world. There is no urgency, no schedule, no too late or too early. There is only enough rest, enough quiet, enough softness for your whole system to reset. Your muscles are already far more relaxed than they were. Your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, they've all let go of some hidden weight. Your chest rises and falls without effort. Your stomach has softened. Even your hands, your fingers, your toes feel heavy in the best possible way. The kind of heaviness that means, I am done for today. I have done enough. I am allowed to stop. If any last thought tries to return, a worry, a memory, a plan, you can greet it kindly. You can imagine folding it gently into a small envelope of soft light and placing that envelope on a shelf right outside this space. You can whisper to it, again without words, not now. You'll be there when I wake, but not now. The thought understands. It knows it cannot follow you into this depth, and so it settles on the shelf, content to wait, while you descend just a little bit further. Soon, you may not hear my voice in the same way. It might become part of the background, like the hum of a distant heater or the wind against a window. You don't need to hold on to the words. You don't need to follow the story. From this point on, my voice is just another current, carrying you deeper and deeper into layers of rest you might not have touched in a long time. If you pass through dreams, they will be gentle, soft images, soft scenes, soft feelings, appearing and dissolving like breath on glass. You don't have to remember them. You don't have to make sense of them. Your mind will do its quiet work in the background, sorting, healing, releasing, while you do nothing at all. And so now, you can let go even of the idea that you are trying to sleep. There is no effort here, just a slow surrender, like sinking back into warm water, like lying down on a field of soft, tall grass, and feeling the earth hold all of your weight for you. Your body knows what to do. Your breath knows what to do. Your heart knows what to do. All of you was built for this, for rest, for repair, for the simple, beautiful act of sleeping. Let the last of your awareness melt into the quiet. If you are still listening, that's okay. Stay as long as you like in this in-between. Soon, without you even noticing the moment, you will slip past the final edge and deeper into the quiet. If some part of you is still here with me, still listening, still drifting, that's perfectly okay. This journey was never about rushing to the end. It's about resting inside the spaces between your thoughts. So if you're still awake, or half awake, or floating somewhere in between, let's stay here a little longer. No effort, no agenda, just soft, gentle noticing. Imagine now that beyond that final edge, beyond the moment where awareness slips, there is a vast and peaceful space. Not a place you have to reach, just a feel that quietly appears whenever you begin to truly let go. You find yourself standing once more before the glowing archway, the dream portal. Only this time, it feels familiar, like coming back to a doorway you visited many nights before. The light inside it is softer now, a warm amber haze that seems to breathe in time with you. Inhale. The glow brightens just a little. Exhale. It softens and settles. You don't have to walk through yet. You can simply stand here, wrapped in the gentle mist, letting the glow wash over you like slow, quiet waves. Every breath is another wave, rolling in, rolling out, carrying with it the last remaining fragments of the day, tiny pieces of conversation, little flashes of screens, half-finished thoughts and forgotten to-dos, all of it lifting away from you like faint sparks rising into the mist until they're too far to even see. If you'd like, you can picture yourself reaching out a hand toward the frame of the portal. It's smooth and slightly warm, like stone that's been resting in gentle sunlight for a very long time. Your fingertips trace along the curve, and with each slow movement, another layer of tension loosens and falls away, across your forehead, down your jaw, into your neck and shoulders, all of it softening, unclenching, forgetting that it ever needed to be tight. You don't have to force it. You don't have to make anything relax. Just by standing here, just by letting the warmth of the door frame touch your skin, your body remembers how to unwind on its own. Somewhere beyond the arch, you can sense an entire landscape waiting for you. A dream plane made only of ease. You don't need to know what it looks like. You don't need to decide where it leads. It's already shaped perfectly around what you need most tonight. Rest. Nothing more complicated than that. Just rest, given form as a gentle world on the other side of this light. For now, we stay here in the doorway, you and the quiet. Feel how the air on this side is cool and velvety, like the moment just before rain, while the air inside the arch is warm, like the glow of a candle behind closed eyes. You're standing exactly where they meet. Cool, warm, stillness, and soft movement, all existing together in one small, sacred space. This is the threshold where waking slowly remembers how to become sleep. If any thoughts wander in, you don't need to chase them away. You don't need to fix them or finish them. Just let them drift past like distant shapes moving through fog. They appear for a moment, and then the mist folds gently around them, and they're gone. Every time this happens, the space around you feels a little wider, a little quieter, a little more willing to hold you exactly as you are. Now, if it feels right, you can imagine taking a single step through the arch. There is no sound, no jolt, no sudden change, just a soft shift, like gliding from one note to the next in a slow, endless melody. On the other side, your feet meet a floor that isn't quite solid and isn't quite air. It feels like walking on a gentle cloud that always rises to meet each step. No effort, no impact, only support, always there, always enough. The world here unfolds gradually, as if your surroundings are being painted stroke by stroke in the dim, dreamy light. At first, you see only colors, deep purples, soft golds, muted blues, swirling together like slow smoke across an infinite horizon. Then shapes begin to form. Distant arches, floating pathways, small islands of light suspended in the air, each one a resting place for a quieter version of you. This is the corridor of dreams. Not a corridor made of walls and doors, but a long, gentle way through layers of comfort. You are in no hurry to move through it. There is nothing waiting at the end that isn't already present in this very moment. Peace, softness, space, all of it is already here. You begin to drift forward, not walking, not flying, just floating at the perfect speed for your body and your breath. Below you, the cloud-like path stretches ahead, glowing faintly, matching the rhythm of your inhale and exhale. Inhale. The path brightens, guiding you a little further. Exhale. It dims to a warm, restful ember, inviting you to slow down even more. There are no decisions you have to make here. The path will carry you as far or as gently as you need to go tonight. On your left, you notice a cluster of floating lanterns, each one holding a memory of a day long past. Some are brighter, some are dimmer, but all of them are calm now. They no longer demand your attention. They simply glow quietly, like distant stars that are content just to exist. If one of them catches your eye, you might let it represent a worry or concern that tried to follow you into the night. See it settle inside the lantern's glass. See the flame hold it gently, softly, until even that worry begins to flicker less and less, using up the last of its energy until it's nothing more than a faint, peaceful spark. Then your attention drifts away again, back to your breath, back to the cloud path, back to the feeling of being carried. On your right, there are doorways made of moonlight. Each one leads to a different dream, a different scene, a different story your mind could tell if it wished. But tonight, you don't have to choose any of them. You can let them pass by slowly. Like pages of a book, you're in no rush to open. If sleep needs a story later, it will know exactly where to go. For now, you're allowed to rest between stories, inside the gentle pause where nothing is required of you. As you travel deeper along the corridor, the air becomes even softer, like velvet that has learned how to breathe. The temperature is exactly right, not too warm, not too cool, just that perfect cozy balance that makes your body want to sigh and sink and let go. You might notice your limbs feeling heavier now, as if gravity has turned into a comforting blanket, encouraging you to sink into the surface beneath you. Your hands relax completely, your fingers uncurl. Your shoulders settle down a little more, melting into whatever is holding them up. Even the small muscles around your eyes grow quiet, releasing the tiny tensions they've been carrying all day without a sound. Ahead, the corridor widens into a vast, open space, a dream field stretching out as far as you can imagine. You drift to the center of it, and as you do, a gentle glow rises around you, forming a soft circle of light. This is your resting place, your own private dream harbor. Nothing enters here without your permission. Only what soothes you. Only what nourishes the part of you that has been tired for far too long. You can lie down here if you like. The surface meets your body like memory foam made out of clouds, shaping itself around every curve, supporting you exactly where you need it most. Your head is held, your spine is supported, your legs and feet find their own effortless position, one that requires nothing from you but surrender. Around you, the dream field begins to move in slow, gentle patterns. Maybe it looks like waves of soft light rolling in from the horizon in the shape of your breathing. Inhale, a wave approaches, glowing very softly, touching the edge of your circle. Exhale, it retreats again, pulling away any remaining tension as it goes. Like the tide, it will keep doing this all night long without you needing to pay attention. You can let it work quietly in the background, clearing away whatever the day left behind. And if your mind wanders again, if it sends up a stray thought, a question, a memory, a little spark of something unfinished, you can imagine placing that thought gently on top of the wave as it passes. No judgment, no resistance, just a soft, simple motion. Here you go. Let this be carried for now. Watch as the wave takes it farther and farther away until it's no longer your concern. Not tonight. Tonight, your only job is to rest. If you listen closely, you might begin to hear a sound in the distance. Not a voice, not music, just a low, steady hum, like the soft vibration inside a seashell when you hold it to your ear. This is the sound of the dream plane itself, the quiet heartbeat of a world built entirely out of calm. It pulses gently through the ground beneath you, up into your body, through your chest, through your arms and legs, reminding every cell that it's okay to slow down, okay to rest, okay to repair and restore and reset without needing your conscious supervision. Your body knows how to do this. It always has. You're just giving it the time and the permission to begin. Somewhere at the edge of the field, the original portal still glows faintly, a quiet reminder of where you entered. But from here, it feels far away, like a gentle star hanging above the horizon. You don't need to go back through it tonight. Sleep will guide you wherever you need to be. And when morning comes, you'll simply find that you have risen back through the doorway without having to think about it at all. The path out is as effortless as the path in. For now, you lie here in your dream harbor, held by the glow of the field, surrounded by infinite quiet. Your breath is slow, steady, soft, in and out. A perfect loop, requiring no effort from you. If you are still listening, you can let my words fade a little, like a voice heard from the next room, comfortingly distant, always there if you need it, but no longer asking you to respond. You don't have to follow every sentence. You don't have to remember anything I've said tonight. You can let these words turn into shapes and then into echoes, and then into nothing more than the feeling of being guided toward rest. As your thoughts grow slower, as your body grows heavier, as your awareness begins to blur at the edges, know this: you are safe here. You are allowed to let go. The dream plane will hold you for as long as you need. Hours can pass, worlds can bloom and fade behind your closed eyes, and still you will be cradled in this circle of light, protected by the quiet. Whenever you are ready, whether it's in the very next breath or many breaths from now, you can slip softly over that invisible line where waking becomes dreaming and thinking becomes floating and effort becomes ease. Until then, just stay, just breathe, just rest in the gentle, knowing that there is nothing more you have to do, nothing more you have to be. Only this, only here, only the soft, endless unfolding. And somewhere beneath that quiet, there is an even deeper stillness waiting for you. You don't have to search for it. You don't have to reach for it. If you simply keep breathing, softly, gently, exactly as you are, you will sink into it on your own. Imagine now that the dream field around you begins to grow even softer at the edges, like a painting slowly blurring into light. The shapes, the distant arches, the lanterns, the horizon, all of them start to dissolve, not disappearing, just stepping quietly into the background. What remains is something simpler, something quieter, a calm, open space where nothing presses in, where nothing demands to be named. You are still lying in your circle of light, still held by the cloud-like ground beneath you. But even that feels lighter now, like the idea of being supported more than the sensation of weight. You are here, but at the same time, you are everywhere in this gentle expanse. If there is any part of your body that still holds tension, you can invite it to join the rest of you in this softness. You don't need to scan yourself perfectly. Just let your awareness drift slowly down from the crown of your head, past your forehead, past your eyes and jaw, down your neck, over your shoulders, into your chest, your arms, your hands, down through your ribs, your belly, into your hips, your legs, your feet. If you notice even a small tightness, you can breathe in gently toward that place. And as you exhale, imagine that spot melting a little, like ice turning into water and water turning into mist, rejoining the quiet air around you. Each breath loosened another strand of effort, until the only thing left inside you is ease. Above you, the sky of the dream plane has changed. It is no longer a sky of stars and distant shapes. It has become a slow, endless gradient of soft colors that moves so gently you might not even notice if you weren't looking. A hint of blue fades into lavender. Lavender melts into dusk rose sinks into warm gray. Over and over, the colors roll across the sky like the quietest possible tide, reminding you that change does not always mean movement, effort, or urgency. Sometimes, change can be this simple: a slow shift from one calm state into another. You are allowed to change like that too. Less force, more ease, less pushing, more allowing. Your breath is already doing it. One inhale at a time, one exhale at a time. Somewhere in the distance, you notice a soft glow, barely brighter than the field around you, but just enough to draw a sliver of curiosity. You don't need to stand up to reach it. Here, you move by intention alone. You simply decide to drift toward it, and the dream plane responds. The light grows a little closer, not quickly, not sharply, just enough to make you feel like you're being gently turned towards something kind. As you approach, you see that the glow is not a doorway, not a structure, but a shape, a soft sphere of pale, warm light hovering just above the ground. It pulses faintly, not with urgency, not with demand, but with the slow, steady rhythm of calm breathing. You realize that this light is a mirror for your own rest. The deeper you relax, the steadier and softer it becomes. You settle next to this light, as if resting beside a small campfire on a cool night. Only this glow does not burn, does not flicker, does not send up sparks. It simply exists, radiating warmth and safety in a quiet radius around you. You can imagine that everything you've released tonight, every thought, every worry, every tightness, has drifted here, been gathered like fallen leaves, and gently changed into this glow. Nothing is wasted. Even your letting go has become a source of light. You might choose to rest your hand inside the glow. It doesn't feel hot. It feels like lying in a patch of sunlight on a cool afternoon, comforting, grounding, alive, yet peaceful. As your hand rests there, the warmth moves up through your arm, into your shoulder, into your chest, filling the center of you with a sense of soft stability. You don't need to hold yourself together out of fear or habit or duty. You are being held by something larger and gentler than any single thought. You are being held by rest itself. If somewhere deep inside you there is a voice that says, "I don't know how to relax," you don't have to argue with that voice. You can let it sit beside you for a moment. Let it feel this quiet glow. Let it notice how tired it is from trying so long to stay alert. You can silently wrap it in the same warmth you feel now in your chest. You don't have to convince it. You don't have to fix it. You can simply let it exist inside a space where nothing bad happens if it finally rests. In this world, even the part of you that struggles to let go is allowed to lie down and sleep. The field of light around you grows a little dimmer as your body moves deeper into stillness, not in a way that feels like loss, but in a way that feels like evening, like that moment when the last light slips off the horizon and everything becomes soft and blue, and you know that night has truly arrived. Inside you, the same thing occurs. You feel the last traces of daytime awareness fade out to the edges of your mind, like the outlines of distant hills disappearing into the dark. What remains is a simple, quiet knowing. You have done enough. You are allowed to stop. You are allowed to sleep. From this point, you don't have to follow every image flickering through your mind. You may notice snippets of dreams beginning to form, half locations, half faces, half memories woven together in strange, gentle ways. You don't need to make sense of them. You don't need to direct them. Your mind is off duty now. It has stepped back from the control panel, set everything to restore, and allowed your deeper self to take over the night's journey. If you happen to surface for a moment, if your awareness briefly brightens, as if coming up for air, you can simply feel the softness of this place again. Notice the warmth in your chest. Notice the heaviness in your arms and legs. Notice the ease in your breath. You can remind yourself with the gentlest thought, "I'm still here. I'm still safe. I'm still resting." Then let yourself sink back down, like a leaf floating down onto quiet water, circles spreading slowly from where you land, until even those circles fade, and the surface becomes smooth once more. The dream plane doesn't mind how many times you drift up and down between layers of sleep. It will hold you in each one. Light sleep, deep sleep, dreaming, silence. You don't need to track it. You don't need to measure it. Your body and your mind know this rhythm better than you think. They've been doing it for years, even on nights you thought you were failing. Tonight, you are simply giving them a softer place to do their work. If you listen very closely, beneath everything, beneath the quiet, beneath the glow, beneath the drifting, there is a subtle, steady presence that has been here the whole time. It is not a sound, not a sight, not a specific feeling, but more like a soft awareness that you are carried. When your thoughts go quiet, it is still there. When your body goes heavy, it is still there. When sleep finally pulls you into its deepest layers, it will still be there, watching over you without watching, holding you without gripping, staying even when you are not aware of it at all. This presence is the simple truth that in this moment, you are safe. Safe to rest, safe to release, safe to drift away for as long as you need. So if there is anything left, any last tension, any last question, any last thought clinging to the edges of your awareness, you can imagine placing it gently into the center of that warm glow, like putting a small stone into the palm of a trusted friend. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to justify it. You simply hand it over and feel how light your hands become once they are empty. Empty hands can finally rest. An unburdened mind can finally sleep. From here, there is nowhere else you need to travel tonight. The field, the corridor, the portal, the endless sky, they all remain, but they are no longer requiring your attention. They will keep watch in the background, so you do not have to. Your only task now is to allow yourself to fade, softly, gradually, peacefully, from clear thought into gentle drifting, from gentle drifting into formless dreaming, from formless dreaming into that deep, dark, restorative quiet where even the idea of effort cannot reach you. If you are somehow still awake, know that it is okay. Some nights take longer than others to loosen their grip, but every breath is carrying you in the same direction. Every exhale is another step away from strain and another step toward the soft, endless unfolding of rest. You don't have to do anything more. Just stay right here in this safe, silent space until sleep gently claims you. And if sleep has not yet claimed you, there is still no rush. You are already so much closer than when you began. Your body understands this place now. Your breath has memorized the path. All you have to do is continue to drift. Let the words grow softer. Let the images grow lighter. Let the spaces between thoughts grow wider and wider until even the spaces fade into one long, unbroken quiet. Somewhere above, the dream plane sky has dimmed to its gentlest tones. No sharp stars, no bright moons, just a soft, velvety dark with hints of color slowly flowing through it like ink in clear water. You lie in your resting place, and that flowing sky feels like a reflection of your own mind. The edges have blurred, the noise has fallen away. What's left is a calm, deep presence without shape, without hurry, without demands. You don't need to rise up out of this. You don't need to hold on to anything here. You are allowed to sink and sink and sink as gently as a feather settling on a cushion of air. Imagine now that beneath you, the cloud-like ground becomes lighter still, until it feels less like something you're lying on and more like a soft current you're floating in. You are not separate from the quiet anymore. You are inside it, surrounded, immersed, part of the stillness you've been moving toward all this time. Even if a thought tries to rise, it moves slowly now, like a bubble from the bottom of a deep lake. By the time it reaches the surface, it has lost its sharpness, its urgency, its need to be solved. It appears as a small ripple and then vanishes, leaving the surface as smooth and peaceful as before. You don't have to do anything to make that happen. Just let the lake of your mind be as it is, still, deep, and perfectly capable of absorbing what little movement remains. If you listen without straining, you might notice that your breath has become very quiet. So quiet that you only feel it as a gentle rise and fall in your chest, a slow expansion, a slow release, like the tide of a tiny sea inside you. Each inhale brings in rest. Each exhale lets go of something you no longer need. You don't have to name what you're releasing. You don't have to understand what's leaving. You can trust that your body knows how to set down what is too heavy to carry into sleep. For a moment, imagine yourself from above, your actual body, in the place where you're lying now. See how quiet you are. See how small, and at the same time how vast, because of everything happening inside you, the resting muscles, the slowing heart, the calming nervous system, the countless tiny processes repairing, resetting, renewing without needing your attention. You are doing so much more than just lying there. You are healing, you are restoring, you are returning to a baseline of calm that was always meant to be yours, and you don't need to control a single step of it. From that higher view, you notice how peaceful you look, the way your shoulders have let go, the way your jaw has loosened, the way your hands have opened slightly, no longer curled into fists against the day. If you saw someone else lying like this, you would know immediately they are ready for deep sleep. You might even feel a wave of tenderness for them, wanting nothing more than for them to rest well, to be free from their worries for a while. Offer yourself that same tenderness, that same wish. You deserve it just as much as anyone else. Slowly, let that higher view fade. Come back to the sense of being inside your body, inside this breath, inside this moment. Nothing has changed, and yet everything has. Because now, you can feel how much softer the inside of you has become, how much quieter, how much more ready to release its grip on the waking world. If any last worries, try one more time to tug at your attention. You can imagine a soft curtain hanging between you and those worries. The curtain is thick enough to keep out the noise, but light enough to sway gently with your breath. On the other side might be schedules, tasks, conversations, questions. You don't have to push them away. You simply let the curtain fall into place for the night. They will still exist in the morning when you are ready, rested, steady again. For now, they can wait behind the fabric of sleep. On your side of the curtain, there is only this: the warmth of your body, the softness of your breath, and a vast, dark, comforting quiet stretching out in every direction. You can imagine curling up inside it like curling up beneath a heavy blanket, one that wraps all the way around you, sealing out the cold, the noise, the restlessness, until all that's left is a cocoon of stillness. You are inside it now, hidden, protected, held. No one needs you for the next hours. Nothing is required of you here except to exist and to soften and to drift. If your mind is used to checking again and again whether everything is okay, you can reassure it with the simplest truth. Right now, in this breath, you are safe. Safe enough to close your eyes. Safe enough to stop replaying. Safe enough to allow the world beyond this room to carry on without your constant vigilance. The night can take care of itself for a while. You can close your inner eyes. Think of all the nights you have made it through before this one. All the days you've survived, even the heavy ones, even the loud ones, even the ones that convinced you you might not. You are here despite every doubt, every fear, every moment you thought you couldn't do it. You have carried yourself so far. You have done enough. You have been enough. Tonight is not a test you can fail. Tonight is a gift you are already accepting simply by lying here and allowing yourself to rest. As sleep draws closer, words themselves might start to blur. Sentences turn into pieces. Pieces turn into shapes. Shapes turn into a feeling of sinking, of floating, of being dissolved into something gentler than thought. Let that happen. Let my voice become less like a story and more like a distant hum, the sound of someone keeping watch at the edge of your dreams while you go on ahead. You don't need to stay with me. I will stay with the door, with the field, with the quiet, so you can travel deep into sleep without looking back. No matter how long it takes, sleep will come. It always does, in its own time, in its own way. You cannot miss it by trying too hard. You cannot scare it away by worrying. You can only make room for it the way you have tonight, by breathing, by softening, by stepping again and again through the door from waking into rest. And you have done that again and again and again until now. You are no longer standing in the doorway, no longer walking the corridor, no longer crossing the field. You are lying at the very center of your own quiet, ready to let go completely. So if you are ready, you can allow yourself to stop listening. Let the words fade into the background. Let your thoughts drift apart like fog in morning light. Let your awareness grow so soft that it becomes indistinguishable from the dream plane it rests in. There is nothing you need to hold on to now. Not even this. You can slip down past the last layer of watching, past the last layer of noticing, into pure, quiet, healing sleep. Deep sleep, safe sleep, restorative sleep. Sleep that takes your tiredness into its arms and gives you back in the morning a body and mind washed clean by the night. Until then, let yourself fall, gently, slowly, fully, into the dark, soft ocean of rest that has been waiting for you all along. And as you drift into that ocean, you may notice that there is no bottom to hit, no impact, no sudden stop, only deeper layers of softness, deeper shades of dark, each one more comforting than the last. You sink without fear, because nothing here can harm you. There are no sharp edges, no cold currents, only warmth and weightlessness sharing the same space. You are falling, but you are also being held. You are letting go, but you are also being gathered into something steady and kind. You are not lost. You are finally being found by rest. Somewhere very far away, the world continues. Lights stay on in distant windows. Cars move. Screens glow. Voices rise and fall and tangle in their endless patterns. But all of that is outside the horizon of this dream ocean. Those sounds do not reach you here. They break and scatter at the edge of the quiet, their energy slowly dissolving into nothing more than background dust in the vastness. Inside this space, there is only your breath, your slowing heartbeat, and the deep, steady silence that wraps around you like velvet. Nothing from the outside is needed here. Nothing from the outside is allowed to disturb you. You are in a sanctuary built entirely out of rest. You can think of this place as the room behind your heartbeat. Not the heart itself, not the blood, not the muscles that work so tirelessly for you, but the quiet chamber behind all of that. A small, timeless space that has always existed inside you, waiting for nights like this one. Very few people ever visit it on purpose. Most stumble into it only in their deepest sleep, when all the noise has finally worn itself out. But tonight, you have walked there with intention. You have stepped through doors, crossed fields, floated corridors, shed layers of thought, set down burdens, until at last you arrived here, in the hidden room behind the heartbeat, where nothing remains except the pure fact of being alive and allowed to rest. In this chamber, you are not your worries, not your history, not your plans, not your image, not your role. You are only a presence, breathing in the dark, held by something larger than your fear. If any part of you still believes it has to stay alert, you can invite it to sit down in this chamber. You don't have to push it. You don't have to tell it it's wrong or unreasonable. You can simply say, very gently, inside your own mind, "You've done enough. You can sit with me and rest too." Imagine that part of you as a small figure curled up in the corner of this room, eyes heavy, back against the wall, finally allowed to stop pacing, stop scanning, stop calculating all the possible futures. You can see it pull its knees in, rest its head against the wall, and close its eyes for the first time in a very, very long time. You do not abandon it. You rest with it, together, in the same quiet, the same darkness, the same safety. Two parts of you, resting as one. As you stay here, the boundary between who is resting and what is holding you grows thinner and thinner, until it's hard to tell where your body ends and the quiet begins. Your arms might feel like they're dissolving into the bed. Your legs might feel like they're sinking into the surface beneath them, not in a heavy, uncomfortable way, but in the way roots sink into fertile soil, finding a place to draw strength without needing to move. Your head feels supported from every side, as if the darkness itself has learned how to be a pillow just for you. Nothing is pressing. Nothing is pinching. Nothing is asking you to shift or sit up or pay attention. You are in the one place where you can finally drop all of that, and nothing falls apart when you do. Sometimes, in the quiet, old echoes might rise. Not sharp memories, not full scenes, just faint impressions of things that have weighed on you. Faces, rooms, moments. They may drift at the very edge of this darkness, appearing briefly like faint silhouettes behind frosted glass. You do not need to invite them in. You do not need to send them away. If they come, they come. If they fade, they fade. You are not here to solve them tonight. You are here to let them exist outside the center of your attention. Like distant clouds in a sky, you are no longer trying to predict. Everything that truly needs you will still be there after sleep. Tonight, is not for action. Tonight is for healing. Let yourself imagine that this ocean of rest is slowly seeping into every corner of your being, into the tiny spaces between your thoughts, into the tired muscles along your spine, into the clenched places in your chest and stomach, into the little creases between your eyebrows, into the soft, delicate joints of your fingers and toes. Everywhere, this calm arrives like water, touching dry ground, soaking in without effort, bringing moisture back to what had become too tight, too rigid, too brittle. You do not see each drop. You do not track each inch of spreading. You just know that with every breath, the saturation continues. More quiet, more ease, more softness, until there is no place inside you that has not been touched by rest. If you like, you can imagine the dream portal once more, but not as a place out there, far away in the mist, waiting on some horizon. Instead, picture it as something small and glowing right at the center of your chest. Not a doorway you must walk toward, but a small, bright opening through which calm flows in and out with every breath. Inhale, light enters, bringing warmth and quiet deeper into you. Exhale, light leaves, carrying away any residue of strain or noise. Over and over, this tiny portal at your center stays open, stays gentle, stays ready to exchange what you no longer need for what you need most. You don't have to manage it. You just breathe. It does the rest. Somewhere, in a layer of sleep, you may not remember in the morning, your dreams may begin to bloom. Soft scenes, soft voices, soft landscapes wrapped in fog. Nothing sharp, nothing chasing you, nothing demanding that you keep up. Just slow, wandering impressions shaping themselves around the needs you haven't spoken out loud. If you need comfort, they will be comforting. If you need release, they will help you let go. If you need nothing at all but stillness, they may come and go so quietly that it feels as if you slept in pure blankness and yet woke up, lighter than you have felt in a long time. You do not need to hold on to these dreams. You do not need to remember them. Their work happens beneath memory. Their gifts arrive in how you feel when morning comes. And morning will come. Not yet, not soon, not in any way you have to prepare for. It will arrive the way dawn always does. Gently at first, a small suggestion of light behind your closed eyes, a subtle shift in the tone of the world. But that is later, far later. Between now and then, there are still so many layers of rest for you to pass through. Light sleep, deep sleep, dreaming, return, back and forth, like the tide, without you having to count the cycles. You will surface when it is time, not a moment too early and not a moment too late. Your body knows this timing better than any clock. For now, you are free to give yourself completely to the night, to borrow its darkness as a blanket, to borrow its stillness as a room, to borrow its silence as a song sung without sound, just for you. Let yourself be as heavy as you need to be. Let gravity do the work of holding you. Let the bed do the work of supporting you. Let the quiet do the work of soothing you. You do not have a job here. You are the guest. You are the one being cared for, even if no one else is in the room. The quiet itself takes care of you now. If there is any last part of your mind still hovering at the doorway, still standing on some inner threshold saying, should I stay awake? Should I keep watch? You can walk over to it in your imagination, wrap your arms around its shoulders, and gently guide it back into the room behind the heartbeat. You can say to it, in whatever words come naturally, "You have stayed awake for me so many times. You have worried and checked and planned and protected, but you don't have to do that right now. I'm safe. We are safe. You can lie down beside me and rest too." See that part hesitate, then slowly, trusting your voice, stretch out next to you on the soft ground, finally willing to close its eyes. You are not abandoning vigilance. You are allowing it to sleep. There will be other days for sharpness. There will be other moments for reaction. Tonight is only for rest. Soon, even the idea of you may begin to dissolve, not in a frightening way, but in the same way a wave loses its edges as it relaxes back into the ocean that made it. You are not disappearing. You are returning to something deeper, something wider, something always present beneath the surface of your thoughts. When you wake, you will rise again as a wave, distinct, clear, ready to move. But for now, you are allowed to be only water, shapeless, effortless, resting in your own true depth. If these words are still reaching you, let them become more distant with each breath, like a radio turned slowly down, 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 until it's nothing more than a faint murmur behind a closed door. The story has already done what it needed to do. It has brought you here, to the edge, to the threshold, to the softest, darkest, safest part of the night. From here, you no longer need guidance. You only need time. Time to drift, time to sink, time to be carried by the deep, gentle currents of sleep. Let go of the day. Let go of the watching. Let go of trying. And allow yourself to fall finally, completely, beautifully, asleep in the quiet. Then, in the far distance of this deep, quiet ocean, a new softness begins to form. Not a sound, not a light, more like a gentle suggestion that there is even more comfort available to you than you have already felt. You don't have to move toward it. You don't have to look for it. You can just allow it to drift closer, the way a slow cloud slides across the sky without needing to decide where to go. You may feel it first as a sense of being wrapped, a light pressure around your shoulders, your back, the curve of your body against the bed, as if the night itself has pulled another blanket over you, tucking you in a little more than before. The weight is perfect, not heavy enough to trap you, just present enough to tell your nervous system that you are safe to release even deeper. Every small muscle that was still holding on, just a little, begins to let go into that weight. Your chest, your stomach, your sides, even the tiny muscles along your ribs, all of them sinking and spreading into the surface beneath you. You no longer feel like you are lying on top of something. You feel like you are lying inside something. Inside the bed, inside the dark, inside the quiet, inside rest. If your mind tries to rise again, you can give it simple, gentle images instead of thoughts. Not questions, not choices, just calm scenes that ask nothing of you. You might imagine a single lantern floating on a still lake at night, its warm light reflected perfectly on the water. The lake does not move. The air does not move. Only the smallest ripples spread out in slow circles from the base of the lantern, fading away before they reach the edges. You don't have to be the lantern. You don't have to be the lake. You can simply watch as lantern and lake exist together in silence, sharing the same quiet you are feeling now. Or you might imagine a long, empty road stretching straight ahead beneath a sky full of soft stars. There are no cars, No people, no signs, just a smooth, dark path lit gently by the glow above. You are not walking it. You are not driving it. You are simply lying somewhere nearby, knowing that the road is there, that it will be there tomorrow, that you do not have to travel it right now. There is nothing at the end of that road more important than the rest you are receiving in this moment. The future can wait where it is. The path will not disappear just because you chose to sleep. Or perhaps you imagine a huge old tree standing alone on a quiet hill under the night sky. Its branches are wide and steady, its roots thick and deep beneath the ground. You are not climbing it. You are not sitting beneath it. You are simply aware that it exists, strong, patient, unmoving, like the part of you that has survived every storm, even when you felt frail on the surface. The tree does not ask for your attention. It does not need you to hold it up with worry or planning. It stands whether you are awake or asleep, whether you think about it or forget it. Just like the strength inside you, it will still be there when you wake. You do not need to keep checking for it tonight. Any image you choose can become a cradle for your mind, not something to analyze, just something to rest against instead of spinning. And even these images will eventually dissolve, melting into pure feeling, melting into the kind of sleep that doesn't need pictures or words at all. Let them go when they fade. There is no need to hold on. If at any point you notice your awareness floating up to the surface for a moment, you may find that you don't even remember where in the story we are. You don't know how much time has passed. You don't know what came before. You just feel a soft, heavy comfort and the sense that you are allowed to sink again. That is enough. You do not need to track the journey. You do not need to count the minutes. Your body and this story are both working in the same direction, toward rest. Each time you notice yourself, you can simply say, inside, that's okay. I'm still here. I'm still safe. I can let go again. Then let your thoughts unfocus, like eyes closing slowly after a long day. You may feel now that even my voice is becoming something different, less like someone speaking to you, more like a soft current of sound moving past you in the dark. You can let it wash over you the way waves wash over sand, back and forth, without needing you to respond. You don't have to agree. You don't have to remember. You don't have to repeat anything later. There will be no test, no moment where you're asked what you heard, what you felt, what you learned. Sleep stories are not here for memory. They are here for sensation, for the subtle shifts inside you that happen when you give yourself this much time to slow down. So if you want to, you can stop listening closely right now. Let the words turn into rhythm. Let the rhythm turn into background. Let the background fade into nothing but a gentle assurance that someone is keeping watch at the edge of your awareness while you go further in. You are allowed to leave me behind. You are allowed to slip away into dreams where my voice does not follow, where only your own mind and your own rest are present. And if you do wake in the middle of the night for a moment, as so many people do, you can remember the feeling of this place. You don't have to start the story again from the beginning. You don't have to recreate every image. Just recall gently that there is a dream plane inside you where the corridor, the garden, the library, the shore, and the quiet chamber still exist. They have not gone anywhere. You have only moved away from them for a moment. With a few slow breaths, you can allow yourself to return back to the mist, back to the field, back to the ocean of rest. You've already walked this path tonight. Your body remembers the way. It will lead you back down without effort. And if morning comes while you are still deep in that place, it will lift you gently, the way the tide lifts a boat tied softly to the shore. You won't need to force yourself awake. You won't need to snap yourself out of sleep. You will rise naturally, with as much of this quiet still clinging to you as you need to face another day. Maybe you will not remember the corridor, or the lanterns, or the dream field. Maybe all of it will dissolve like mist the moment you open your eyes, but its effect will remain. In the looseness of your jaw, the ease in your shoulders, the steadiness of your breath, the small, subtle sense that something inside you has been unknotted during the night. You don't have to name it. You don't have to explain it. You just have to live from that softer place, knowing you can return to it again whenever you need to. Tonight, you have already done more than enough. You have shown up for your own rest. You have given yourself time, space, and permission to let go. The rest of this journey belongs to sleep. Let it take you fully, gently, beautifully into the deepest layers of the quiet, and stay there as long as your body and your mind need. The night is yours. The quiet is yours. For now, you can release everything else and simply sleep. And if, somehow, a small island of awareness is still floating in this sea of rest, you don't have to push it under the surface. You don't have to fight it. You can let it drift, slowly, gently, until even that last piece of being awake grows bored of holding itself up and quietly lets go. Imagine now that the quiet around you has become a vast, dark sky without stars, without edges, without distance. Not an empty sky, a full one, heavy with peace, thick with stillness. You are lying in the very center of that sky, as if someone has placed you carefully on a soft, invisible bed suspended in the middle of eternity. There is nowhere to fall, no direction that leads away from safety. Every way you turn, inside, outside, forward, back, you meet the same gentle dark, the same soft silence, the same patient rest, waiting to receive you. In this place, even time begins to loosen. Minutes do not march past in straight lines anymore. They drift like small leaves dancing in a breeze you can't quite feel. You lose track of how long you've been here, because long and short stop meaning much when nothing is being demanded of your hours. There is no late, there is no early, there is only now, and now, and now, each one so full of calm that it doesn't need to be measured. Sleep loves this kind of time, the kind that isn't pressed into neat boxes, the kind that spills and stretches and curls in on itself like smoke. You are inside that kind of time now. You don't have to do anything with it. You just have to let it move around you while you stay beautifully still. Maybe, somewhere back at the edge of your awareness, there is still a faint habit whispering, "What if I don't sleep?" If that voice appears, you don't have to argue with it. You don't have to convince it of anything. You can let it speak very softly, the way wind speaks through grass, and then let it trail off, sentence unfinished. Because here, in this deep, dark center, sleep is not a test you pass or fail. It is a direction you are drifting in, whether you are aware of it or not. Even now, as you listen, your body is already farther along the path than your thoughts can see. Your muscles are heavier, your breath is slower, your mind pauses more often between each idea. You are closer to sleep than that small, worried voice realizes. You don't have to update it. You can let it fade out with the rest of the day's noise. Gently, bring your attention for a moment back to the simplest thing, your breath. Not to control it, not to deepen it, just to notice. In, the air arrives, cooler, cleaner, like night air through an open window. Out, the air leaves, warmer, carrying with it whatever tension is still willing to let go. In, a soft arrival. Out, a soft release. Over and over, without your help, without your effort. Your breath is the most loyal thing you have ever known. Always there, even when your mind is far away, even when your attention is tangled somewhere else. Tonight, you are simply giving it the chance to return you to the rhythm it has always wanted for you. Slow, steady, gentle. The rhythm of rest. Each time you notice an inhale, you can imagine that you are gently floating upward through the dream ocean. Just a little, not away from rest, just into a slightly lighter layer of it. Each time you notice an exhale, you can imagine that you sink back down into the deepest, darkest quiet, where nothing is expected of you at all. Up and down, like a small boat rocking slowly on a lake with no wind. So calm that you might not even feel the movement. Only the comfort of knowing that if you drift within safe shores. You cannot be carried away from yourself in this place. You can only be carried deeper into who you are when all the strain falls silent. If dreams come to meet you now, let them come. They may arrive as colors first, then as places, then as stories that don't quite follow the rules of waking life. You don't need to hold them steady. You don't need to direct them like a film. Your dreaming mind knows exactly what to show you and what to leave blank. You can move through them as if you are moving through another corridor, another field, another library, another shore. Each one just another expression of the same quiet you rest in now. And whenever the dream needs to darken or lighten or shift, it will, without asking for your permission. All you have to do is keep surrendering to the softness and let the night finish the work you began the moment you chose to lie down and listen. From here on, there is nothing more you must understand, nothing more you must picture, nothing more you must repeat. The story has taken you as far as it needs to. The rest of the distance belongs to sleep. Let my voice fall further and further into the background until it is no more than a faint echo at the edge of a deep cave. You are walking away from it now, torches slowly dimming behind you, footsteps growing quieter, until you reach the very back of that cave, the place where the floor is soft, the air is cool, and the darkness wraps around you like a promise. Lie down there, in that last, safest darkness. Close your inner eyes and let the cave, the ocean, the dream plane, the quiet, all of it, hold you while you drift beyond words, beyond stories, beyond the need to be awake, into long, deep, beautiful sleep. Far beneath the surface of thought, beneath the cave, beneath the ocean, there is a layer of quiet that does not know your stories at all. It does not know your name, your history, your fears, your hopes. It only knows that you are here, breathing, alive, in need of rest, and that is more than enough for it to open and receive you. You can imagine that this deepest quiet is like a vast, dark meadow with no horizon, no trees, no path, only soft, endless ground stretching in every direction. You lie in the center of it, and the ground is so gentle that your body begins to forget where it ends and the meadow begins. Your outline grows blurry, your edges grow vague. You are not disappearing. You are simply becoming part of something larger and more peaceful than you could ever be on your own. In this meadow, there is no need to move. Not your body, not your thoughts, not your feelings. Everything here is allowed to be still. Even the air has settled, as if it has found the perfect place to rest, and no longer sees any reason to stir. If you listen, there is no birdsong, no wind, no distant hum of life, only the slow, steady rhythm of your own breath, mixing with the silence until the two are almost the same. Sometimes, in sleep, we dream of running, of searching, of trying to reach something or someone. But here, there is nothing to chase, nothing to find, nothing to lose. You are not on a mission. You are not on a quest. You are not being tested. You are simply lying in the dark with the absolute freedom to let go of every single role you have ever played. The responsible one, the strong one, the one who holds everything together, the one who always worries just a bit more than anyone knows. All of those roles are resting far away from here, folded neatly like clothes left on a chair by the bed. They will still be there in the morning if you want to put them on again. But tonight, you are allowed to sleep as no one and nothing but a breathing presence in an endless, safe quiet. If thoughts try to tell you that you are not doing it right, not calm enough, not asleep enough, not empty enough, you can smile at them very gently inside. Imagine them as small, tired messengers who have been running back and forth all day long, trying to report every detail to some imaginary command center. Now, at last, you open the door to that command center, and they see there is no one left inside. The chair is empty. The screens are off. The lights are dim. The workday is over. They are free to go home. You do not need their reports tonight. Not one more. You can bow to each thought, grateful for its effort, and then let it walk away down a long hallway lined with soft lamps until it turns a corner and disappears. The hallway remains. The lamps remain. But the messengers have finally gone to rest. And in their absence, the control room inside you can sink back into perfect stillness. Feel again how your body lies where it is. The contact with the bed, the weight of the blanket, the gentle pull of gravity, making every limb heavier, more grounded, more willing to surrender. You are not being held down. You are being held in place by something that wants nothing more than to keep you safe while you sleep. The mattress, the pillow, the blanket, the dark, all of them forming a nest around your quiet form. A nest you do not have to build or maintain or protect. It already exists. You are simply the one resting inside it. If you want, you can imagine a faint, comforting glow just under your ribs. Not bright, not sharp, just a warm ember resting in the center of your chest. It does not blaze. It does not flicker. It simply radiates a steady, soft warmth into the space around it. This ember is the part of you that wants rest for no other reason than that you deserve it. Not because you have earned it by working hard enough, suffering long enough, proving yourself deeply enough, but because you are human, and all humans are built to need periods of deep, uninterrupted sleep. You do not need a more complicated reason than that to lie here and let go. The ember knows this. It glows with that truth, quietly, without words. You can focus on it if you like, or simply know that it's there. Either way, its warmth continues to spread, making the inside of your chest feel softer, wider, more at ease. Sometimes, when we are very tired, our minds think we must stay alert to protect ourselves from our own thoughts. As if we truly let go, something heavy might rush in. But here, in this meadow of quiet, nothing heavy can reach you. You have walked through too many layers of mist and light for anything sharp to find its way to you now. Even if old echoes try to rise, they arrive already wrapped in padding, already softened by the distance they had to travel to get here. By the time they reach you, they no longer have the power to pierce. They drift past like faint shadows on the underside of clouds, noticed for a moment, then gone. You do not need to push them away. You do not need to pull them close. They are already on their way to somewhere else. You are only passing through this night, this quiet, this layer of who you are. Nothing here is trying to trap you. It is all trying to free you. Think just for a moment about how much you have carried, not to wake yourself up, not to relive each weight, just to acknowledge that the person lying here now has walked through days and nights that would have tired anyone. You have held yourself up through moments where you had no map, where you had no script, where you had no guarantee that you were doing it right. And still, you kept going, even on little sleep, even under pressure, even with doubts you didn't speak. You have done enough, more than enough. You don't have to keep showing up for the world in this moment. You only have to show up for your own rest. And you already have. By lying here, by listening, by staying. The hardest part is behind you. All that remains now is to allow sleep to meet you where you are. You don't have to force your eyelids to feel heavier. You don't have to force your thoughts to stop. You don't have to force your breath to slow. All of those things are side effects of one simple act: staying here and not getting up. Taking this time and not filling it with more input, more stimulation, more distraction. You have already chosen to step away from the noise. Your system will do the rest. The heaviness in your limbs, the relaxation in your jaw, the drifting of your mind. All of it is happening because you are finally giving your body and mind what they have been quietly asking for under every thought you've had today: space to shut down and reboot and heal. If you notice now that even trying to follow these words feels like work, that is a sign not of failure, but of success. It means your mind is already on the edge of the place beyond language, the place where stories are no longer needed because sleep has fully taken over. You are welcome to stop listening whenever you like. Let the story continue without you. Let the words roll past like a river you once decided to step into and are now floating down without needing to watch each ripple. You are not missing anything by letting go. You have already heard everything you needed to guide you here. The rest is only sound, only rhythm, only a gentle hand at your back, reminding you that it is safe to keep drifting. There will be a moment, though you may not feel it, when you finally cross the last thin line between wakefulness and sleep, like crossing a border in the dark without a sign, without a gate, without a sound. One breath, you are still here in the soft, dim edge of awareness. The next, you are gone, traveling alone through the landscapes of your dreams, while your body lies still and your mind gets the deep, uninterrupted rest it was built to have. You don't have to aim for that moment. You don't have to time it. It will arrive the way all sleep always arrives, naturally, unforced, in its own time. Your only task is to remain willing to meet it. And you are. You are here. You are ready. You are safe. The rest will happen by itself. And so, while the surface of your thoughts may still ripple very faintly, the deeper layers of you have already committed to the night. Your cells, your muscles, your heart, your lungs, your nervous system, they have all stepped into their roles for this quiet shift between exhaustion and renewal. They do not wait for your permission. They begin gently now. Somewhere inside you, at a level you will never see, tiny repairs are already underway. Strands of tired nerves being soothed, threads of tension being unwound, patterns of strain being softened, bit by bit, in the silence. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to monitor it. Your only offering is this, your willingness to lie here and let it happen, and you have already given that. Imagine, if you like, that all the places where you have felt worn thin begin to glow very softly with a dim, healing light. Not bright enough to wake you, not sharp enough to pull you back to the surface. Just a quiet, warm presence moving through you like a slow tide of comfort, across your scalp, behind your eyes, down the back of your neck, between your shoulder blades, across the weight-bearing parts of your spine, through your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, the soles of your feet. Wherever the day left an imprint, the night is now smoothing it out, like a hand smoothing creases from a sheet, fresh from the line. You are being laid flat again, not in defeat, but in readiness for a new day you do not have to think about right now. If any last images from waking life try to play themselves in your mind, you can imagine they are being projected on a far wall in a very large, very empty theatre. You are not in the front row. You are not at the center. You are lying in the softest seat at the very back, reclined, half turned away from the screen. The images move, the story continues, but the sound is turned down low, and your eyes are half closed. You feel no pressure to keep watching. At any moment, you are free to let your eyes slide shut completely and let the movie keep playing without you. You will not miss anything you need. You already lived your own day once. You do not have to live it again in the dark. Instead, you can turn your attention to something much simpler. The comfort in your body right now, the way your head is supported, the way your arms have found positions that no longer require effort, the way your chest moves on its own with each breath, the way your legs have given up the work of holding you upright and finally surrendered to the pull of the mattress. This comfort is not imaginary. It is real. It is happening in this moment, regardless of what your thoughts say about it. You can lean into that reality as much or as little as you like. It will remain. Outside this room, somewhere, lights are still on in other lives. Phones glow, keyboards click, cars pass through intersections. People talk and argue and laugh and worry as if the night were just another backdrop for their busyness. But you are not there. You are here. In a small, sacred circle you have carved out from the noise and protected with your decision to stop. All of that can continue without you for a while. The world is capable of spinning on without your constant attention. You are allowed to step out of the stream and sit on the bank while the water rushes past, unbothered. When you are ready in the morning, you can step back in. But tonight, for these hours, you are a stone on the quiet side of the river, unmoved, untouched, resting. If you notice now that even searching for new images feels like too much, that is a sign that your mind is almost ready to drop the last anchor into sleep. You don't have to fill the space with anything more. You can let it be blank. Blank, but not empty. Blank, like a page waiting for dreams to write themselves across it in their own language. You don't have to be the author tonight. You are simply the one for whom the story is told. There is nothing left now but the very simple, very human act of continuing to lie here, breathing, while the night does its quiet work around you. No choices, no strategies, no corrections, nothing to optimize, nothing to improve. You are not a project in this moment. You are not a task. You are simply a living being resting in the dark. And that, all by itself, is holy work. So let go of the day, of the tension, of the watching, of the effort, of the idea that you need to do this right. Let yourself slide the last few inches down into a sleep so deep, so kind, that when morning eventually finds you, you will rise not as someone who fought through the night, but as someone who was gently, continuously held. The corridor is behind you. The portal is behind you. The dream field, the shore, the chamber, the meadow, all of them have led you here to the simple, wordless truth that you belong to the quiet, and the quiet belongs to you. Now at last, let sleep have you completely.